course of love.
Yeah, yeah, we are one.
Welcome to a course of love.
Now let's come together and understand that Christ was born inside of every man. He's waiting for us to choose him as ourselves. When you choose him, you know you choose me too. And everyone becomes a part of you. And then you will know that love is who I am. You and me were not that far apart. Yeah, we're beating the same heart. We've been together from the start. Tell me, can you hear it?
Welcome to a course of love.
Tell me, can you feel it? Put your arms around it and know that we are one. Yeah, yeah, we are one. Oh, we are one.
I'm Earl Purdy. Welcome to Facebook Live, A Course of Love with Earl Purdy on Facebook Live. You need not believe the ideas. You need not accept the ideas. You need not welcome the ideas. Some of the ideas are going to be hard to believe and quite startling. Nobody's asking you to analyze and judge the ideas at all. It is the use of the ideas that will give the ideas meaning to you and will show you that the ideas are true. It's using the ideas.
You and me were not that far apart. Yeah, we're beating the same heart. We've been together from the start.
Oh yeah.
Tell me, can you hear it? Tell me, can you feel it? Put your arms around it and know that we are one. Oh, we are one. Yeah, yeah, we are one.
Welcome to a course of love. 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 I am you, and you are me. I am you, and you are me. Woo! I love that song by Brother John Christmas at johnchristmas.com. You can get this music from Brother John Christmas, my brother. I love him very much. And you can get this music for free. So just go to johnchristmas.com. All right? Welcome to A Course of Love. Thanks for coming online, mighty companions. Thanks for sending out the hearts. Because this is a heart class. This is a class for the heart. This is a gathering for the heart. It's not a gathering for the mind. It's not a gathering for the analytical mind. This is a class for the heart, a joining of the heart and the mind, the wholeheartedness. We're going to go into part 2 of A Course of Love tonight. And don't forget to communicate with each other in the comments. I will also be looking down at the comments whenever I get a chance and responding when I get a chance. I may not be able to respond to everybody, but we are coming together as a family. We are the mighty companions. And so when you communicate, when you comment on this video, when you share, like right now we're going live, just share the video right now, right next to the comment section here on Facebook Live, and like it, because the more activity that the video creates, the larger the reach on Facebook. And I know you all know that right now, in this world that we've created, it's got a call for love going on right now. And we are fulfilling our functions by being conduits. Like right now, I am attempting to get my ego out of the way enough to be a conduit for love. Our goal is to hear what the course of love is saying, to get our next level of instruction. So I'm much more about remembering what the truth is telling me rather than trying to analyze whether or not it's right. So it's no accident that you're watching this. It's no accident that you're here with me, mighty companion. And I'm going to call my name often because I know that first and foremost, these classes are for me. And so I'm glad you and I have this intimate one-on-one relationship going right now. We're going to be in the second part of A Course of Love, a treatise on the art of thought, the first treatise. So we're going to be on page 200 in A Course of Love. We're going to be on page 200, chapter 1, the first instruction. Chapter 1, the first instruction. On page 200 in A Course of Love in the treatise, and sometimes it sounds like the treatises. We're going to do chapter 1, the first instruction, on page 200. So as our brothers and sisters come online, let them know where we are, okay? So I'd like to invite you right now to just take a breath and just relax. I'd like for you to focus on the way that your body is feeling right now. It doesn't matter how your body is feeling right now. I just want you to focus on your body right now. I want you to fully embody your body. Be in your body right now. Feel your head. Bring your attention to your neck. Bring your attention to your chest, to your shoulders. Bring your attention to your nipples. Bring your attention to your hip. Bring your attention to your genitals. Bring your attention to your thighs. Bring your attention to your butt. Bring your attention to your neck. Bring your attention to your back. Bring your attention to your thighs. Bring your attention to your feet. Bring your attention to your body. Breathe. Paragraph 1. I'm going to read through it, and we're going to get the message out of it. The first instruction. Do you know that a split mind, that's a mind divided between love and fear? A mind that's divided between love and fear is incapable of giving and receiving as one. A mind that's divided between love and fear are incapable. That's a mind that is incapable of giving and receiving as one. I'm going to tell you something. Would you like to know something else about a split mind? A split mind doesn't rest. A mind that's divided between love and fear. A mind that's divided between innocence and guilt. A mind that is divided between thinking that it's just a body, a human being, and a mind that realizes its unlimited spirit. A mind that has forgotten who it really is. It says that's a mind that doesn't rest because it's a mind that can find no peace. So what that's telling me is that I have a split mind. I know that I have a split mind because I go from peace to conflict and from conflict to peace. if you're going to ever give and receive as one, do you know that you have to have a state of peace? If you're going to ever give and receive as one, you have to be in a state of peace. Do you know that you are? Do you know that if you are in any state, do you know if you are in conflict, if you're in any state other than the state of peace, you're in conflict. You're conflicted by the desire for peace and the ways in which peace is seen as being approachable. A conflicted mind, do you know that a conflicted mind is a mind that sees peace as something outside of one's being? Peace is seen as being outside of one's being. So, if a person has a split mind, if a person is in conflict, this is a person who believes that their peace is outside of themselves. And so the means are sought for the union of being with that which will provide for peace. I'm looking for someone or something outside of me to give me peace. Might it be you, you little juicy thing? I'm looking outside of me for peace because I have a divided mind, I have a split mind, I have a conflicted mind. It says, knowing not what this is that will really bring peace, because I'm looking outside of myself. The Course of Love says it's the source of conflict and of all seeking. Okay? What does that mean? It means people who are seeking peace are the people who don't know what peace really is. People who are seeking peace are the people who don't know what peace really is. People that are seeking peace are the people who don't know what peace really is. Because no one seeks for what they already know how to find. Nobody's looking for what they already know how to find. So the mere fact that a person is seeking peace, do you know that means that that person doesn't really know what peace is? Because they wouldn't be searching for something that they already knew how to find it. And you wouldn't be searching for something that you believe that you already possess. So let's just admit right now, those of us who are seeking love, we don't know what it is according to this. Those who are seeking abundance, they don't know what it is. Anybody that's seeking outside of themselves, they don't really know what peace is. So that's the first statement that I need to get clear about. Then paragraph 2 says, while a course of love has led you to a state of wholeness of mind and heart, which is wholeheartedness. What is wholeheartedness? A state of wholeness of the mind and the heart. So, even though you have connected more with your mind and your heart than ever before, you're in a state of wholeheartedness. You still require further guidance, Raj. You still require further guidance. You require further guidance. Listen, you require further guidance. You require further guidance. So this treatise, what we're studying right now, will attempt to give specific examples of what to look for as your learning continues. So even though you've made great progress, Raj, Earl, and my mighty companion, see, it's both of us, you and me, it's you and me. Even though we have achieved more wholeheartedness, we still require further guidance. And we need very specific examples of what to look for As your learning continues, you need to know what to look for, how to identify responses that are coming from a whole heart, from responses that are coming from a divided, fearful, split mind. So we need specific examples of how to tell the difference when we are responding from our true self and when we're responding from our ego or our false self. Also, the purpose of this part of the Course of Love is to identify the service that you can provide once your wholeheartedness is completely realized. So our purpose right now is to identify what the service is, what your task is, what your function is. Once your oneness or wholeheartedness is completely realized. So now I'm going to give you your very first instruction. Professor Purdy is going to give you your very first instruction now. Your first instruction now, and it's going to be a doozy. Your first instruction, Earl, is to seek no more. Your first instruction in this new phase of learning is to stop seeking all that you are in need of knowing is in this course of love. If you get the course of love, you don't have to keep seeking for the truth. You don't have to keep seeking outside yourself for the answers. The answers to the peace and joy and happiness that you want to receive are right here in the teachings of A Course of Love. And you can go to acourseoflove.org to find more about where the Course of Love came from. And you can also purchase A Course of Love online, Amazon and other major sellers. So when it says seek no more, it's saying stop looking. You don't have to look any further for the answers that you are seeking. You don't have to look any further for the answers that you're seeking. They're contained within this material that I'm covering with you right now. Do you know that if your learning doesn't feel complete, if you don't feel like you really got it yet, it's not a failing of this course, and it's not a failing of yourself if you don't feel like you've totally healed yet, if you don't feel like you've totally awakened yet. It's not because this course of love has failed you, and it's not because you have failed you, that your learning doesn't feel complete. Why is it that your learning doesn't feel complete? Your learning doesn't feel complete because of your forgetfulness. What keeps you from feeling whole and complete and peaceful is you keep forgetting what you are studying. You keep forgetting what you are learning. After you read it and study it, you forget what you read and studied, Raj and my mighty companion. That is why you don't feel whole, happy, and complete. It's because you're not staying conscious of the truth that you're studying. So you are doing forgetfulness, which is the opposite of mindfulness. So mindfulness is the opposite of forgetfulness. So when I talk about you having to have further learning, it's going to be further learning based on mindfulness. And what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is remembering. Let me be still and remember the truth. Let me be still. Let me be quiet and remember this truth. Let me still my mind and remember what I'm studying. Let me remember what I'm studying. Let me remember what I'm studying. Remembering this is mindfulness. If you don't feel like you are successful at this, it's not because this course has failed you. It's not because you have failed you, really. It's because you forget this new way of thinking. You have a tendency to forget to look at things in this new way. That is what you're going to learn how to do now, is remember this more. Not analyze it more. Remember this more. Do you know what the course of love has provided you with? The course of love has provided you with what you need to know. That's the function of this course, is to provide you with what you need to know. Now, this does not mean that you have acquired the ability to live what you have learned. Just because the course of love has told us what we need to know, just because the truth teachings that you are studying have told you everything you need to know, it does not mean you have acquired the ability to live this. Just because I've told you, let's pretend I'm the book, Course of Love, okay? Just because I've told you everything you need to know doesn't mean you've acquired the ability to live it and demonstrate it. Just because you've heard what you need to know, that you're totally innocent, totally one, totally unlimited, totally loved, that you are truth consciousness, that you are Christ consciousness. Just because you've been told that doesn't mean you have the ability to live it and express it right now. You are just at the point that you're ready to attempt to the best of your ability to live what you have learned. Those of you who are with me right now, as part of my tribe, we are a tribe, the Mighty Companion Tribe. Since we are all part of MCT, the Mighty Companion Tribe. TMCT, the Mighty Companion Tribe. That's who we are. Just because we've heard this incredible truths about ourselves, how awesome we are as spiritual beings, it does not mean that we have acquired the ability to live what we've learned. It just means we're ready to. The very word remember, as well as the concept of memory, that implies mindfulness. And what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is the ability to reproduce or recall both what has been learned and also recalling what you have previously experienced. This means this reproducing and recollecting are acts of creation. So what is an act of creation? It's your ability to reproduce and to remember. You have the ability to reproduce and remember. Remember and reproduce what? Remember what you have learned. Remember what you have previously experienced. If you can remember what you have learned, and if you can remember what you have previously experienced, you are performing an act of creation. You don't bring back a reality that used to be, but you transform that reality into a present moment experience. So what does that mean? It means it is in the present moment experience. So let me ask you something. Are you having a present moment experience right now? So right now, you're having a present moment experience. It is in the present moment experience, memory provides that truth. rather than illusion can now be experienced and learned from. It's in this present moment experience that your memory can provide the truth rather than illusion. We can use our memory in this present moment to give us an experience of truth instead of an experience of what is illusion and not true. Just say this: I dedicate all thought to union. 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 It is in the present moment experience that you will receive the blessing. You will receive the blessing right now. What is the blessing that you will receive right now? The blessing that you will be able to receive right now is of being able to respond differently, to love. The blessing of this moment is that we're able to respond differently now. We can respond differently to love. That's a blessing. That's a blessing. So, Julie says, I dedicate all thought to union. Trish says, I dedicate all thought to union. Sophia says, love you guys. We love you too, Sophia. You're busy little something. Bless your heart. CJ says, for those who are new to A Course of Love, you may find more about this at www.acourseoflove.org. Claire says, I'm ready to remember. Julie says, readiness. Tamsin says, we don't need to pretend. We don't need to pretend you're the course of love. You are a course of love, Tamsin. I am a course of love. You're right. Everybody that's listening, everybody that's watching, they are courses of love. And Tamsin says, needed you tonight. Blessings, beautiful brother. Hey, I need you tonight. Blessings to you. We are so blessed to have each other. You know, this is my favorite time of the day. Shahira says, let me be still and remember. Trish says, let me be still and remember that I am studying. In other words, we were just told, it's not that what you have learned isn't true. You're forgetting it. It just says, well, it's not really that complicated. You're forgetting to apply these new interpretations to your experience. There's a part of your mind that's still using the old interpretations of everything, and that's why it looks like it's not working. It's not that you haven't found what you're looking for. It's just that when you study it, you forget it, and you go back to sleep and look at things the way the world taught you to do that. And how you know you do it? Well, it's not hard, Earl. How you know you're doing it is by how you feel. If you don't feel peace, then you're doing exactly what this is saying. You're forgetting what you're learning. But you're totally innocent. And the more you remember the truth, and the more you remember what you've experienced, the more you're going to be expressing acts of creation, and you will see your experience change. And Dharma says, I am a course of love. So in paragraph 5, chapter 1, paragraph 5, it says, all that you have experienced in truth is love. I know it may not look like it, but the only thing you've ever experienced is love. All that your false ideas, all that your illusion has provided you with is nothing. So your first job, as you remember and re-experience, is the job of separating what's true from what's false. So your first job is to learn how to tell the difference between what's true and what's false. Your first task is to learn how to tell the difference between love and fear. Your first job is to learn how to tell the difference between illusion, what is not real, what is not true, from what is true. You have to learn how to tell fear from love. Doing this will require no effort, for what you have learned in this course has already prepared you for this. What you've been learning has already prepared you to be able to tell the difference between what's true and what's not. So it's each situation that reenacts a previous learning experience arises. What is that? Anytime you're in another situation that reminds you of another situation that you've been in, anytime you're in any situation that reminds you of another situation that you've been in, you just need to do what? You just need to trust your heart. Trust your heart, and you will be perfectly able to identify what's real from what's not by trusting your heart. How do you do that? It's a simple act of recognizing what really means something. It's time to recognize true meaning. What does it mean to recognize true meaning? All that you believe you learn from illusion. Everything that you believe you learned from a place of fear, from a place of separation, will have no meaning to you now. As you wake up, Earl, you're going to find the learning that you got from the world, the learning that you got through your ego, the learning that you got from the past won't mean anything to you. You will give up any remnants of false learning that you have acquired. All that you believe you learned from what is not true. As you begin to remember this truth, as you begin to remember what A Course of Love and your other truth teachings have been teaching you, as you remember that, then the things that you learned in fear and separation will have no meaning for you. And that would allow you to give up any remnants of false learning that you acquired. All that you learned in error, because you were identifying love incorrectly, that's going to be relearned as you properly identify love. Everything you've learned through fear is going to be relearned as you properly identify love. Although I have just instructed you to trust your heart, even though you just heard me say trust your heart, also your reunited mind and your reunited heart will now be called to do what? Your reunited heart, like you have your heart connected to your mind more than ever before. You have your mind connected to your heart more than ever before. And now your mind and your heart must act as one. That means your mind and your heart must act in unison. That A Course of Love instructed you little in the mechanics of the mind was consistent with the theme of learning goals of this course. This course is not about teaching you about the mechanics of the mind. This course is not about the mechanics of the mind. This course is not about teaching you about how the mind operates. That's not consistent with the theme of A Course of Love. The mechanics of the mind right now, you can leave the mechanics of your mind behind right now. Don't let that freak you out. It just means it's time for you to concentrate on the art of thought, the art of thinking. We're going to start to learn the art of thinking, the art of thinking. The mechanics of the mind, that's what engaged you in so many daily battles. What's making you so weary and what's making it hard to continue on the spiritual path sometimes is because of the mechanics of the mind that keeps you constantly engaged in battles. So it's the mechanics of the mind. The mechanics of the mind were what were in need of being overcome. I know that it might have looked like it was the outside world and outside situations and outside relationships and circumstances that needed to be overcome. That's not what needed to be overcome. What needed to be overcome is the way your mind operates. That what needed to be, what you need to overcome, Earl, is that voice in your head. Why do you need to let go of that voice in your head, mighty companion? You need to let go of the voice in your head so that you can once again listen to the wisdom of your heart. Your heart has all the answers to everything that's confronting you today. Your heart, in your heart, learning how to listen to your heart. And I'm not talking about the muscle that's pumping blood through your body. The heart is the center of your being. By getting in touch with the center of your being, you will learn how to listen to the wisdom of your heart. But you have to overcome the mechanics of your mind, which is listening to the voices of the world, listening to that voice in your head that produces fear and conflict. It says the mechanics of your overworked and overstimulated mind were what you were asked to leave behind. The mechanics of your overworked and overstimulated mind were what you were asked to leave behind. What is it that I'm being asked to leave behind? What is it that you're being asked to leave behind? You're being asked to leave behind your overworked and overstimulated mind. Get out of your head for a minute. Get out of your head, Earl. Get out of your head, mighty companion. Get out of your head. Get out of your overworked, overstimulated mind. That's what you're being asked to leave behind. As this act of leaving behind your overworked, overstimulating mind was the only means by which you could allow your mind to be restful enough for it to even contemplate union or the new learning required in order to facilitate your return to union. Getting past your overcomplicated, overworked mind has to happen in order to facilitate your return to love and your return to union. Do you know that when I say your return to union, I'm talking about your return to love, and the way that you access that return to love is at the center. It's at the heart of yourself. We're going back to the heart of ourselves. Your mind needs to be quieted. Your mind needs to be silenced right now. Your mind needs to be silenced right now in order for you to hear the wisdom of your heart. Your mind needs to be silenced if you're ever going to hear the wisdom of your heart. And it's time for you to begin your return to the center of yourself. It is time for you to return to the center of your heart. It's time for you to return to who you really are. Now, how do you complete that return to who you really are? Well, in order to complete your return to who you really are, your mind and your heart must work together. Your mind, your thinking and your heart, your thinking and your feelings, they must work together in order to return to the center of yourself, that is love. So what are you? What kind of being are you? You are a thinking being. You are a being that thinks. You are a being that thinks. You can't deny that you are a being that thinks, and you shouldn't deny that you are a being that thinks. Thus, of course, that left you with an erroneous impression that relying on feeling alone would complete your learning, would in actuality leave your learning incomplete. So I'm not saying that you should just I'm not saying that you should just rely on your feeling alone. Without this treatise, though, in the art of thought, too many of you will become muddled in your feelings unless you learn the art of thought. And you know not where to turn to explain the many riddles that would seem at times to be present. So just take a breath now, and I'm going to tell you what I just said. A mind and heart joined in union abolishes fear. Your mind being joined with your heart, your thinking being joined with love, your thinking being joined with the heart will abolish the ego. It will abolish fear. It will abolish guilt. The ego man was what was once in charge of your thinking. Your fear-based mind used to be in charge of your thinking. Since the ego is incapable of learning, the ego man had to be circumvented in order for true learning to take place. Your fear-based mind has got to be circumvented. The part of you that believe, that part of your mind that thinks that you are separate, that part of your mind that thinks that you are different, that part of your mind that thinks that you are separate, that part of your mind is the part of the mind that creates fear, and that part of the mind must be circumvented in order for true learning to take place. So your ego, we have to go around your ego. We have to go around your self-concepts. We have to go around the things that you've learned about yourself that taught you that you are a separate body mind. We're circumventing your ego in order for you to experience true learning. So what I'm doing right now, for some of you, may be maddening, because I'm circumventing. I'm going around your way of thinking that's based on what you've learned in the past. Maybe your ego is freaking out right now. The Course of Love says, this is what a Course of Love accomplished. What is it that the Course of Love accomplished? The Course of Love taught you how to circumvent your ego. This learning was accomplished in you, making you the accomplished. You really are accomplished. You really have succeeded. You are merely learning and remembering and seeing what you went through in order to accomplish union with love, God, self, and everything and everyone. And I want you to hear this. You are the accomplished. You have already accomplished this. You've ultimately already accomplished this. Ultimately, you've already awakened. What you are doing right now is seeing what you did to wake up. You're remembering what you did to wake up to who you really are. So you are the accomplished. That is who we are. We are the accomplished. As the accomplished, that means that you are now able to access God consciousness. You are now able to access universal mind. You now have access to all knowledge. You now have access to all knowledge. The joy that will come to you. How can you tell when you are experiencing the thoughts of a mind joined in union? Is when you are a mind joined in union, joy will come to you. Notice in paragraph 10 it says, the joy that will come to you from the thoughts of a mind joined in union will be what? Unparalleled. There will be nothing in your experience that you can compare this joy to. When you, and notice it said, you didn't have to go out and hunt the joy down. You didn't have to go out and make the joy happen. It says so beautifully, the joy will come to you from the thoughts of a mind joined in union. That joy will be unparalleled. That means there won't be anything in my experience that this level of happiness can compare to. That when I really tapped into my accomplished self, my divine nature, my Christ consciousness, my true self, the way that I will know that I have done that is that when I experience this joy and when I experience this happiness, there won't be anything that it can, there will be nothing in my past that can compare to that level of joy and happiness. Ah, you will say with the relief and joy that knows no bounds, you will say, this is what it is to experience and know the truth. Wow, whoa, this is unlike anything I've ever experienced before. This is joy beyond anything I can imagine. This is the kind of happiness that I've never known. Oh, okay, this is what it means. This is what it means. This is what it is to experience and know the truth. This is what it is to create. This is what it's like to think as God thinks. So how can I tell when I am thinking as God thinks? I will feel a joy. A joy and happiness will come to me that I cannot compare to anything that I've ever experienced before. Where once you recognized only illusion, where you used to see only fear and conflict and called it reality, your mind joined in union will now more and more, once your mind joins with my mind, once we become one with all that is, then more and more and more, we're going to recognize only the truth. We're going to experience only what's truly real when, as our mind is joined in oneness and union. Our bodies we cannot all physically join. That sounds pretty intense to me, So forget that, Being one is not a worldwide orgy. Being one is our minds being joined in purpose. Our minds recognizing that there is just one mind, and we are part of that one mind. As we join in union, we will experience what's truly real, what we can truly count on, and what will be truly loving and nurturing and safe. Do you know that you can already imagine what an extensive change this will bring? And as you are still experiencing change in time, without guidance, this change will be seen as quite difficult. That's such a great point. I want you to hear this again, Earl. I want you to get this straight, mighty companion. Listen to this. I'll say this one more time. You've gone as far as you can go without guidance, without instruction, without further learning. You can already imagine what an extensive change what I've talked about this evening is going to bring. And as you are still experiencing change in time, and you are, aren't you? Aren't you still experiencing change in time? Well, without guidance, and we have guidance. The Course of Love is guidance. A Course in Miracles is guidance. The Way of Mastery is guidance. Other wisdom texts. But without guidance, this change would be seen as quite difficult, no matter how grand its outcome, and even in spite of your recognition. At first, you're going to have recognition in fleeting moments. Your recognition of your divine nature, your awakening, that unspeakable love and joy. At first, it may come in fleeting moments. So there's something I want to say to you right now that I'm being absolutely led to say. It's only the ego that can get upset. It's only your ego that ever feels upset. It's only your ego, the separated self that your mind is made up, that you've learned from the world, that part of us that is not our true self. That's the only part of you that can ever become afraid and upset and angry and guilty and sick and separate. It's only the ego. It's only the ego. So it's your ego constantly getting upset every day about what happens. It's your true self is completely centered, completely unshakable. So without guidance, you will stay trapped by that old past concept or concepts of yourself that's fear-based. But at first, your awakening, at first, your enlightenment is going to come in fleeting moments. But that's going to be a change that you would welcome. So what is it, Earl, my mighty companion, hold my hand. I'm going to ask you a question. What is being called upon right now? What is it that's being called upon right now? What's being called upon right now is your willingness. Don't trust your good intentions. Trust your willingness. Trust your willingness to remember the truth. Trust your willingness to become more awake. Trust your willingness to become more loving. Trust your willingness to know God. Trust your willingness to know the truth. Trust your willingness to wake up to who you really are. Don't trust your good intentions. So much harm has been done to people having good intentions. Don't trust your good intentions. Trust your willingness, no matter what else may enter. Be willing to do what? Be willing when? Now. Be willing now to do what? Apply this new art of thought to the experience of the truth. Be willing now to apply the art of thinking, the new thinking, to the experience of truth. This is our first instruction. This is our first instruction. Chapter 1 into Treatise. That was very, very deep. And I'm going to touch on some powerful points and some takeaways as we complete this section. God. And I'm also look at some, and also let me know what some of your takeaways were so that I can share those. If you like to make a financial expression of appreciation to my teaching ministry, just go to earlpurdy.com. I'm available for one-on-one sessions called clarity sessions, where I show you, or Spirit shows you through me, how to get clarity on where you are, to let go of some blocks that you know you're ready to let go of right now. Go to my website. It explains my one-on-one sessions completely. I would love to work with you on applying this to our everyday life and how to do that. And how to do that. Go to acourseoflove.org to find out more about that. And also, Brother John Christmas, that music I played, you can get that music for free. So go to John Christmas. I love you. I need you. You are part of me, and I'm a part of you. I'm appealing and I'm calling to those who resonate to me, to the part of themselves called Earl Purdy. Those of us who resonate with each other, that you feel you're being helped through what's coming through me, then let's join. Let's be the mighty companions. Those who I may not be your cup of tea, or the way I express myself may not resonate with you. That's fine. That's okay. That's okay too. I pray that you connect with the teacher or facilitator that you do relate to, because all of us have guidance, all of us have help, and you all are a blessing to me. Let me tell you, you're a total blessing to me. So let's see what a few takeaways are before we finish. I have to trust my willingness to know God. I'm willing to be willing. To experience only the real is our goal. That's right. To experience only what's real is our goal. Diana, it's good to see you. That I think I know something and open my heart. That's right. I love the responses. Reunited, and it feels so good. False learning feeds the false self. I trust my heart. And let's send out hearts to each other right now. So let me give you some good tips and good instruction before we complete. Take a breath. What is it that's being called upon right now? Your willingness is being called upon. Be willing now to apply the art of thought to the experience of truth. Apply this new way of thinking to the experience of truth. You are the accomplished. Don't forget that. You have already accomplished your goal of remembering who you really are and remembering the truth. That means you now have access to the universal mind. You have direct access to the divine mind because you are the accomplished. You are the accomplished. As you remember to practice the truth that you're hearing and the truth that you're studying. When you dedicate all thought to union, joy will come to you. Let joy come to you. Listen to me now. Let joy come to you. Let joy come to you. From the thoughts of your mind that is joined in union with my mind, let's unite our minds. Let's unite our purpose. Unite our mind. Unite our purpose. Our purpose is union, joining in love. We were also told that we have abolished our ego tonight. We have already abolished our ego, but we don't know it, but we're seeing what we went through to abolish it. You are a thinking being, so no one is telling you not to be a thinking being, because your ability to think is part of your gift. We're just putting an emphasis on the heart, the center of yourself, so that you can join the center of yourself with your mind and be wholehearted. Let go of the mechanics of your overworked and overstimulated mind. I know your mind might be going crazy right now. Your mind may be freaking out after what you've heard tonight. It's, what about this? What about that? I don't understand this. I don't understand that. That's good. Just let go. Just let go. And let go. And say, I don't understand anything I see. I don't understand what anything is for. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. And behind that I don't understand is a part of you that does understand. But you have to tell yourself the truth right now. So I'm asking you to leave behind your overworked and overstimulated mind and take a breath. Do you know you should concentrate? Concentrate on the new art of thinking. Concentrate on the new art of thinking. Your first job, as you remember, your first job is to learn how to separate what's true from what's false. That's your first task, as you remember, and re-experience is the task of separating what is fear from what is love, separating what is not true from what is true. And you've been prepared for this. So you're going to have situations come up that are going to seem like situations you've experienced before. But if you will trust your heart, you will be able to tell the difference between what's really real and true and what's going on in front of you, and not, you will be able to tell what's true from what's not true as each new situation comes up in your life. If you learn how to listen to your heart, learn how to listen to your heart. No matter what you think, the only thing that you've ever experienced is love. No matter what you think, the only thing that you have ever experienced is love. The only thing that you are experiencing is love. Love is the only thing that's real, and everything else is nothing. Love is the only thing that is real, and everything else is nothing. Love is the only thing that is real, and everything else is fear. Love is the only thing that is real, and everything else is fear. Love is the only thing that is real, and everything else is fear. Love is the only thing that is real. 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 Now go easy on yourself. Go easy on yourself. Go easy on yourself, because now you are ready. You are ready to learn how to live what you have learned. It's time to learn how to live what you have learned. 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 It is time to learn how to live what you have learned. You have access to divine mind. This is the first instruction. You are the accomplished. Let's say that. I am the accomplished. 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 I am accomplished. I am accomplished. Say that to yourself. I am the accomplished. I am the accomplished. And I dedicate all thought to union. We are the accomplished. We are the accomplished. Mighty companions, as usual, you are a total blessing. I feel your presence. We've been together for an eternity. It's no way we're not going to remember a goal that we've had since our creation. We are the accomplished. This is the first instruction. Listen to it many, many, many times. I love you. Thank you for the hearts. You are awesome. And may the course be with you.